Hello everyone, Debark is here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome once again to another flight on Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are here at the Gary Jet Center at the Gary Chicago International Airport. Gary Chicago International Airport, Kilo Golf Yankee Yankee. This is a joint civil-military public airport in Gary, in Lake County, Indiana, United States. It is located 3 miles northwest of the city center of Gary and 25 miles, 40 kilometers, southeast of the Chicago Loop. It is operated by Gary Chicago International Airport Authority, which was created by an interstate compact between Gary, Chicago, and Indiana. Nearby highway connections include the I-90, the I-80, the I-94, the I-65, and the Chicago Skyway. And today our destination is Las Vegas, Harry Reid International Airport. Harry Reid International Airport, Kilo Lima Alpha Sierra. Harry Reid International Airport is an international airport in Paradise, Nevada. It is the main government airport for public use in the Las Vegas Valley, about 5 miles or 8 kilometers south of downtown Las Vegas. It is owned by the Clark County Commission and operated by the Clark County Department of Aviation. Las Vegas Airport covers 2,800 acres, that's 1,100 hectares, 4.4 square miles, that's 11 square kilometers of land. The airport was built in 1942 and opened to airline flights in 1948. It has 4 runways and 2 passenger terminals. East of the passenger terminals is the Marnell Air Cargo Center, and on the airport's west side are fixed base operators, FBOs, and helicopter companies. The airport is named after U.S. Senator Harry Reid, who represented Nevada in the Senate from 1987 to 2017. Between 1968 and 2021, the airport was called McCarran International Airport. In fact, some people still call it that today. Before 1968, it was named McCarran Field after U.S. Senator Pat McCarran, who represented Nevada from 1933 to 1954. And today we're going to be flying the beautiful Cessna Citation Longitude that's parked behind me. Registration November 282 November. Beautiful, isn't it? And we're going to be flying 4 passengers to Las Vegas on vacation. It's actually a family, mother, father, and 2 kids. Okay, so there are total 6 of us, pilots and the passengers. Excuse me. Now, as usual, without further ado, let's head inside the cockpit and get the avionics going, and then we'll come back out to do a quick walk around. It's gonna be 3.5 to 4 hour journey, and we're going to be departing roughly in an hour. Okay, as usual, first things first, circuit breakers. And they're all in on this side, all in on this side. Okay, next, the gear lever. Make sure it's down, flaps lever. Okay, make sure that it corresponds to the actual situation. All right, and after that, we can turn on the standby power. Okay, and batteries 1 and 2. And of course, we can connect the ground power and turn on all necessary lights. Okay, just to let the passengers know that they can buckle up. Let's give this a few minutes to initialize. No, 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 no. Okay. Okay, and we check our pre-flight. And everything is good. Every CAS message displayed here is expected. All right. Check our summary, and everything is good. Okay, to be expected. All right. Hydraulics. Okay, everything is also to be expected. Nothing connected yet because both the APU and engines are off. And fuel. Okay. I'm gonna leave it on electrics for now. And we can head out for the walk around. Alright, quickly. The probes over here are all in good condition. Oxygen compartment is closed and all latches are closed. And looking at the wheel well, it's clean and clear. And all the probes over here are also closed. Sorry, are also good. And the oxygen compartment here is also closed, and all the latches are closed. Okay, nothing out of the ordinary here. Can go down and look at the belly. And all lights are in good condition. All antennas, all outflow valves, they're all in good condition. Okay, wing inspection light is on. Static ports are good. Looking at all the windows, they're all clean and no damage. Looking at the leading edge of the right wing, everything is in good condition. Even the fuel cap is on and closed. Behind here, all control surfaces are in good condition. And kneeling down, let's check the tires, which I missed the nose gear, but I'll get back to it. Alright, the tires are good. Brakes are good. And the rim. What does it look like? This is zoomed. Anyways, struts are good. Let's check this camera. Did I zoom it by mistake? No, it didn't. Okay. Alright. Okay, all the struts are good. Door, the wheel, landing gear door is good. Everything is good. Just check the wheel well real quick. Okay, wheel well is clean and clear. And tires are well inflated. Okay, let's come out. I thought I saw a flash of the strobes. Alright, engine intake. Clean and clear. The blades are clean. And no damage. And the exhaust is clean and clear. And the APU intake, clean and clear. The exhaust is good. And looking up the vertical stabilizer, I can see the nav lights are on. Horizontal and vertical stabilizers are on, are good, and the aileron, elevators and their trims are good. The rudder and its trim are good. Okay, left engine exhaust, clean. And the intake, clean. The blades are intact and clean. Baggage compartment is closed. The baggage has already been loaded. Alright, main landing gear. Good, tires are good, brakes are good, rims are good. And the struts are good, all connections are good and in order. And wheel well, clean and clear. Okay. All control surfaces at the back here, they're all in order. Nav lights, good. Leading edge, pristine. And with the wing lights here, they're also good. Now I did not check the tires here. Right, the tires are good, rims are good. The inflation is nominal. And taxi lights are good. Everything is in order. Alright, that concludes the walk around. Let's head back in and get set up. Okay. Here we're going to start with the performance, weight and balance. Okay, that's the pilot's weight, both of them. We have 4 people, that's 680 pounds. And our cargo is 480 pounds. Okay, that gives us a zero fuel weight of 24,889 pounds. Probably need to reduce the brightness of this GTC. Okay, that's better. Okay. So that's that. Takeoff. We sink the fuel. We have 12,147. Okay. And how much is required for takeoff? Let me check this real quick. It's 12,091. Okay, that's good. Okay, and landing. For our landings reserve, we have 2,398. $2,398. So 2,398. All right, that's good. Come back out. And before we continue, we'll just do the flight plan. Okay, our origin is that one, Gary Chicago International. And our destination is Kilo Lima Alpha Sierra, McCarran International. All right, procedure. Okay, let's do the flight briefing before we do the procedure. Okay. So we are November 28 to November. We are at Gary Chicago International, going to Harry Reid International, and our alternate is Los Angeles International. And our briefing. Okay, we are zero fuel weight, 24,889 pounds. Payload is 1,500 pounds. Fuel 12,091 is required. We have just a little more than that. Takeoff weight estimated is 36,880 pounds. Flight time is 3 hours and 41 minutes. We're going to be cruising at 40,000 feet, and the distance is 1418 nautical miles. Okay, and our fuel, we already talked about it. Block fuel is 12,091. We have just a little more than that, and this is where I got the reserves from. That's final reserve plus alternate. That's 2,398. Okay, next times. We're going to be departing 22:30 Zulu. That's 17:30 local. It's 5:30 p.m. And takeoff 10 minutes later, 22:40 Zulu, 5:40 p.m. local. And landing in Las Vegas is going to be 2:21 Zulu, and that's 7:21 local. And parking at the ramp, 2:41 Zulu, 7:41 p.m. local. So block time is 4 hours and 10 minutes scheduled, and they're estimating that we're going to be 1 minute late. But I'm thinking that we're going to be a little earlier because this flight plan is based on a cruise speed of Mach 0.82, but we're going to be cruising at Mach 0.83. All right, and that's that. We already talked about this. Okay, so let's take a look at Navigraph. So this is our flight plan. We're going from the east to the west. So we're going to have some tailwind, if I remember correctly. Takeoff, we have 10 knots of headwind, and landing we have 9 knots of headwind. So looks if these conditions remain consistent, we're gonna be doing very, very well. All right, let's take a look at our departure. If I can find my mouse pointer. All right, here we are. So we're gonna be taking off southeast, in a southeasterly direction. That's runway 12. Let's hide this for a second. Okay, so looking at the inset, this box here represents the box right here. So we're going to be taking off in the direction of 125 degrees. So the instruction is continue runway heading until we are above 1100. Then vector ourselves to the next waypoint, which is Aceto. Okay, so of course we're in the United States, so transition altitude is 18,000. Transition level is flight level 180. Okay. This SID requires takeoff minimums, okay, and we know that, not gonna get into it, but we are well capable of it. So initial climb and initial altitude is gonna be 3,000. So initial climb, we are taking off runway 12, so we're focusing on just this. Okay, top altitude is 3,000. Climb heading 125 to 1100. Then as assigned by ATC for vectors to Aceto. Okay. And at Aceto, on track 200 degrees to Adele. Then on transition, maintain 3000. Expect filed altitude 10 minutes after departure. Now I forgot to mention that our SID, standard instrument departure, is going to be the Adele 6 departure. Adele 6 RNAV departure with the RLIN transition. Okay. So we're maintaining 3000 all the way to Aceto. And then probably after Aceto, maybe after Adele, then we will get cleared to our filed altitude. We're gonna pretend that that's actually what ATC is gonna be doing. Of course, we're not flying with any ATC. We're our own ATC, so we're gonna maintain 3000 until we cross Adele. All right. And of course, the main body of the route, nothing to talk about here. That's obvious and intuitive. But our arrival, let's take a look at the arrival. We start having altitude and speed restrictions at Cho. All right. By the way, the arrival is the standard terminal arrival is the Cho 2 arrival, Cho 2 RNAV arrival, with the transition at Tiger. Okay. And all these places we don't have any restrictions until we get to Cho. Cho we have to cross at flight level 190 or below and at 250 knots. Okay, and the next one is Satchel, and this is a window between 13,000 and 10,000. So 13,000 or below, 10,000 or above. And next one is Fela, and that's 11,000 or above. Sorry, 11,000 or below, 8,500 or above. So between 11,000 and 8,500. Next one is Foof. Now, FOOF has both a speed restriction and an altitude restriction. So we have between 8,000 and 7,000 and at 220 knots. So it has to be specifically at 220 knots, no more, no less. All right, just like the other speed restriction, which is at CHO. Okay. And of course, at PPAN, we need to be arriving at we need to cross FOOF at 7,000 or above. Basically this, what you see here. And PPAN, we need to cross at 210 knots. I almost didn't see that. 210 knots and exactly 6,000. So we're going to be setting 6,000 hard for PPAN. All right, after that we get into our approach, and it's kind of overlapping because after PAN it's vectoring, but we're going to connect the two so it immediately joins KGYY. No need to vector. All right, that means PPAN is 6,000. Let's look at the approach. The approach starts at KGYY. KGYY is going to be 5,300 suggested. And MOB is 3,900 or above. Gimbal is 3,500 or above. We're probably going to harden it to 3,500 so we can descend early. Okay. And we intercept the glide path. Of course, this is an RNAV approach, so we're not going to be needing frequencies. Okay, and that's that. And it's a normal, oh, it's not normal. It's slightly higher angle of descent, 3.24 instead of the normal 3. So let's take note of that. And our minimums is going to be 2558 baro and 441 radio. Missed approach altitude is where is it? Let's see, 7,000 for missed approach. Okay, missed approach climb to 7,000 on the RNAV missed approach route to Matler and hold. Continue climb and hold to 7,000. That is if you get to Matler and you're not yet at 7,000, then let the hold be a climb and hold until you reach 7,000 and then level the hold. All right, and that's that. Very simple and easy to follow. All right, so for now, let's leave it at that. And when we are done setting up everything and starting our engines, then we'll look at the taxi. Look at the taxi routes. Okay, let's put this back on the departure. Okay. Yeah, let's leave it that way for now. Let's head back to Volanta. We're going to be needing it for our flight planning. So I'm going to bring up the flight briefing here and put up the route. And that's it. We're going to be referencing it. All right. Let me take a sip of water or a sip of coffee. Where's my coffee? Oh, okay. Okie dokie. Our departure is the Adele 6 departure, and it's runway 12. I almost mistook that for 12. My voice is still croaking like a frog. Don't mind me, guys. Probably being paranoid, but I sound like a frog. All right. So Adele 6, and the transition is Arlene, not Adele. And runway 12. Okay, that's that. Can load that, and this manual sequencing. Let's take it. Let's see the. Let's preview the approach. I mean the procedure. Let's preview it on the. Let's preview it on this map right here. Okay, so that's it right here. We're gonna go in this direction, and then we're gonna connect to acetal. Let me see what happens if I remove the manual sequencing. Oh, okay, it won't even okay, this is much better. Okay, that's the manual sequencing. We remove that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna remove it. Yeah. That way we don't have to deal with it. As soon as we're 11,000, we'll start turning. All right. Okay, so let's continue the flight planning. Arrival is gonna be the Cho-2 arrival with the Tiger transition and runway 19er right. Okay. I hope that's what we have here. Yes, 19er right. Because I've been making mistakes lately and putting the wrong one, the parallel one, the opposite one, the adjacent one. Alright, we have Tiger transition, 19er right, preview on the map. Okay, that's good. And the next one is our approach. Minimums 2558 if I remember correctly. Let's verify that before we agree to it. Yes, 2558. Okay, so enter, and that's barrel minimums. And transition 10. Okay, RNAV, RNP, Victor. Is it Victor? Or do we have Zulu? Yes, let's use the Zulu. Yes, let's take the Zulu and okay. Yes, that's the correct one. Okay. Okay. All right, everything is good so far. Let's get back to the body of the flight plan. And all the way at Arlin. Okay, after Arlin, what do we have? We have direct to spinner. Direct to spinner. Sierra Papa India. Yep. And from spinner, we go Juliet 80. To Goodland. Okay. And after that, we have Juliet 146 to Dicey. Goodland. Juliet 146 to Dicey. Hurry up. Okay, and after that, it is direct to Tiger. I hope I get the spelling. Tiger. Yes, I think I got it. Yes, and so it's not included because it's the beginning of the star. All right, so let's say we're done. No need to harden the altitude restrictions except the 6,000. I feel like hardening this one too, although we don't have to. I think we can capture the glide path even before this. I'm gonna leave it, so we don't need to. So that we can capture the glide path as soon as possible. All right, so that's it for the flight plan. Did I hit the done? I think I did. Yes, I did. All right. Now, VNAV profile, this is good. The climb profile, that's good. 250 to 10 below 10,000, 200 below 2,500. Within 4 nautical miles of Gary. For our cruise, usually it's 0.84, but it's gonna be kissing the barber pole, and I don't want that distraction, so that's why we're doing the pilot defined crew. We're removing 0.10 off of the speed. Okay, and our descent, that is good. Okay, that's fine. Now we can do the takeoff performance. Origin, that we're taking off runway 12. Weather, we can load the weather and also use the rat. METAR, March 31st, 1:45 Zulu. Wind speed is 120 at 10 knots, and the visibility is 10 statute miles. Clouds scattered at 7,500. Temperature 11, dew point 2, altimeter 29908. All right. Let's set that 29908. Okay. Next, runway. The available runway is 8,858 feet. Takeoff config, it's going to be flaps 1, anti-ice off, thrust reversers stowed. I don't know why I would want to open them. Takeoff factor 1.0, rolling takeoff, no. Okay, takeoff data 122, 124, 138, and 185. We can accept that. Remember to switch to flaps 1, otherwise the speeds will not display. Alright, that's that. That's good enough. We're not gonna touch the landing data until we're in the air. And our transponder is gonna be 4261. Okay. Okay, I heard someone say that this thing keeps decreasing, but we're gonna leave that alone. Alright, we don't need to deal with frequencies. Yeah, 140. Okay. Let's put this on 120. All right. Okay, everything is done. Okay, we can set the altitude to 3000. Okay, runway heading 125. Okay. We already have the speed. Good. Now, anything else? I think we are pretty much good to go. Let's display the flight plan here. All right, we are ready. Now we can start the APU. But before we do that, 1 second. Take this off before we forget it. Okay, so the terrain was a little bit blurry, so I tried to fix it. All right, so we're starting the APU. And we're gonna monitor it until it's 100% and then give it about a minute or so Let me actually bring up the timer. Wanna know how long. Okay, that's 100. Start the timer. I'm gonna stop it as soon as the bleed air starts flowing. I wanna know how long it takes. Okay, basically 41 seconds. Wow, I didn't know it took that long. Alright, good to know. Okay, let's reset the time. 41 seconds. Okay, now we have bleed air. We have air conditioning. We also have enough air to start the engine. You can see as soon as the bleed air started, we got the start pressure of 32 psi. Alright, so before we start the engine, I'm gonna look at the cockpit items. Alright, circuit breakers are in, standby powers on, batteries both are on, and the voltage is of course should be 0 because they're charging. Let's check the electrics again. Yeah, so not I mean the amperage 0 because they're charging. Looks like they're fully charged actually. Okay, that was the batteries. Oxygen system checked, 18,000 psi on each. Hydraulic data. Let's check the hydraulics again. Alright, so far so good. Okay, and APU started. APU generators on. External power, we're about to disconnect. Cockpit controls, we'll check as soon as we start the engine. Fuel and center of gravity, we've checked. Lights are all on. All appropriate lights are on. Autopilot, we'll turn it on and off. So autopilot on. And off.
Autopilot.
Alright, that works. Alright, so cockpit items check complete. Now we're gonna start. Before start checklist, just do items. Parking brake is set. KLAS messages checked. Before start checklist complete. Just take a sip of water. Okay. Alright, so we're starting with the right engine. Open the guard, push to start, close the guard, and push run. Alright, air conditioning coming off because we need that air to start the engine. Okay, N2 rising, ITT rising. Oil temperature and pressure rising, N1 rising, fuel flow started, ignition's gonna come off anytime soon, ignition off, start valve closed, good start. Okay, it's stabilizing at 18.3. Alright, starting the left engine. Open the guard and push to run, and close the guard, push start, and monitor. Okay, same thing, N2 rising, N1 ITT rising, oil temperature and pressure rising, N1 rising, fuel flow coming. Fuel flow started. Okay, ignition coming off. Good. Start valve closed. Okay, should stabilize. Alright, stabilize at 18.2. I forgot to disconnect ground power. Let's disconnect that. Also, now we have correct bleed and air conditioning coming back on. We can turn off the APU now. Alright. It's a very good start. We can check the hydraulics again. And now the hydraulic systems are running full nominally, optimally. And electrical. Okay. Now each generator is powering the specific bus or the corresponding bus. And the bus tie has been opened up again to isolate them, as should be. Anti-ice we're not gonna need. And flight controls, we'll check the flight controls. Sorry for the abrupt movement of the camera. So for flight controls, elevator up, down, neutral, ailerons left, right, neutral, rudder left, right, neutral, and spoilers deploy fully, extend, retract, and flaps deploy fully. And retract fully. Good. Flaps 1. Alright, and the airspeeds are displayed. Okay. And of course, brake pressure. Okay, 3,000 on each. Good. And brake temperature is good too. Alright. That's that with the flight controls. Okay, everything is done. Now look at the pre-flight. We have one more thing, and that's the trim. Gonna set it at 4.5. Okay. Or maybe leave it at 4.3. Okay. Yeah, all right. Now, if you take a look at our pre-flight page, you can see that everything is in the green. Okay. And if we look at the summary, everything is also in the green. This beacon should be on, but there's a bug on the PFD. So let's take a look at it on the MFD. Actually, bring that back. Let's move this to here and go back to synoptics and summary. All right. If you take a look at the summary right now, you see that it's on because, of course, the beacon is on. So probably, hopefully, they'll fix this later on. For now, I don't know. All right, go back home and put that on traffic. Put this on map. Okay, we'll use this to taxi. All right, now that everything is on, we can take a look at our taxi. Before we do that, set toga and arm VNav and also arm auto throttle. All right, we are good over here. All right, now we can take a look at our taxi. Okay, we are here, and we're coming to this end of the runway. So it's gonna be Charlie Alpha 1. Charlie Alpha 1. Yep, Charlie Alpha 1. Just to confirm that, we're gonna get on Charlie, get on Alpha, and Alpha 1, and runway 12. All right. Okay, before taxi checklist coming up. What time is it right now? That is 5:25. Oh, is this lagging? It better not be lagging. How's our frames? Okay, the frames are good, but it's kind of noisy. Anyways. Before taxi checklist. Flight controls free and correct. APU as required. It's off. Takeoff data input and V-speeds displayed. Flight instruments checked. Altimeters checked. And trims checked. Taxi lights gonna come on. Parking brakes off. Coming off. So taxi light on. And parking brake off. Before taxi checklist complete. All right. There we go. Now let's watch out for that aircraft over there so we don't clip into it. Okay, I think we're clear. Okay, we've been cleared to cross runway 20. Landing lights on, strobes on, left is clear. Right is clear. Okay. I don't know if two sceneries are superimposed over each other. I'll check that later. Alright, turn the lights back off. No, not that one, the strobe. Okay. And let's try to stay on the center line. Yeah, it's looking to me like there are two sceneries. Well, maybe I'm wrong. It's just the markings. I see some dark yellow markings and some bright one. Okay, this goes fast, even on idle power. Okay, we're gonna stop here for a sec. Let's see how close I got. Okay, I'm good. Alright. So let's review our settings and make sure that everything is in order and configure our MFDs. We're gonna be making an immediate turn. Alright. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, before takeoff checklist, pre-flight page checked, brakes checked, runway heading selected, flaps set for takeoff, ice protection as required, weather radar as required, crew briefing complete. Okay, we're cleared to line up and wait. Alright, so landing lights on, taxi lights off to remind us that we haven't been cleared to take off yet. Anti-collision on. Alright, let's line up.
No takeoff.
That was the parking brake. Okay, this is good enough. Not perfect, but it's in the ballpark. Okay, final checks. Everything is in order. And we are cleared for takeoff. So, taxi lights. Actually, hold on. Let's reduce this a tad. I just don't want the cockpit to be completely dark. Configure our thingy so we know when to start turning. And I'm gonna set this to FMS. Alright. Okay. So, cleared for takeoff. Taxi lights on. And start the timer. Did I start it? Reset. And start. Okay. Alright. So, check the power. And it is stable. Full power. Airspeed alive. V1 rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps up. Autopilot. We're gonna maintain 3,000 until we cross, what was the waypoint again? Until we cross Adele. Let's just pretend that there's traffic above us and ATC has told us to maintain 3,000. Alright, we're cleared. We cleared all the way to 41,000. We're going with flight level change. We'll go with we'll climb with 4,000 until we get to 10,000. And I don't know if I said 41,000, but it's actually 40,000. It's raining. It's raining at all these places. Okay, 10,000. Landing lights off. Pulse on. And flight level change. Okay, coming up to 18,000. All right, standard altimeter. I'm gonna see you guys at the top of climb. But before we do that, let's check out let's see how we did in our climb. Okay, so also bear in mind that this is a high altitude airport, so that's why this is so high. The ground is actually up here, not there. It's just that it's a flat image. So we taxied from Gary Jet Center and went all the way over there and turned around. And then we took off. As soon as we were airborne, we started making a turn direct to Acito, which is somewhere here. And of course, we stayed at 3,000 for a while. That's the flat thing you see here. And then started climbing. We're still climbing. Now, just in case you think I'm over-explaining, like I always say in my videos, I have other fans who are not aviation savvy, so they like these things. So let's cater to them. Let's accommodate them. I think accommodation is the right word. Alright, so that's our performance so far. And that was the 3,000 when we maintained 3,000, and now we're climbing again. Alright, so that's that for now, and I'll see you guys at oh, we're almost there. Alright, rather than cut it, let's just continue on to our top of climb, and then and because of limitations with this actual aircraft, I'm gonna only show the replays after we are landed at Las Vegas. Otherwise, if I show the takeoff replays now, we're not gonna have a landing gear by the time we get to Las Vegas. It will not deploy. I learned that the hard way. So for now, we'll see all replays after we are landed. And these clouds are so beautiful and so white. Alright, by now we should be at our cruising altitude. Let's see. Okay, about 700 to go. Oh, and the pulse lights are still on. Alright, we're almost there. I intentionally left the seatbelt signs on. I'm gonna bring them off as soon as we start cruising. Alright, we are here at 40,000. Let's see, how long are we going to be cruising? That's another one that takes a while. This is 119.07. I want to know how long it takes. I mean 1907, not 119.07. I think after this changes to cruise, that's when it happens, but that's usually 10 minutes, isn't it? Because it's already stabilized at 40,000. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. Okay. Alright, it didn't wait until it got to climb up to cruise. So it took 2 minutes before it appeared. And we're going to be cruising for 2 hours and 59 minutes. Almost 3 hours. Good to know. Alright, and that's a very long time that I'm not gonna bother you guys with. It's gonna be cloudy for a while, I believe. So, I will see you guys closer to top of descent. Okay guys, we are approaching our top of descent. We have about 5 minutes to top of descent, so let's hurry up and get set up for our descent. We'll start with the performance. Okay, landing performance. We're landing at the runway 19 right. We can load the weather. It's gonna be that. No time. 2999er. That's what it's gonna be. Okay. Runway 8982. Landing config. Full landing auto throttle is gonna be on. Okay. Full flaps. Anti-ice off. Thrust reverser stowed. Okay. Alright. Landing data. Accept that. Alright. Leave that like that. Let's see. The lowest altitude is going to be 3,500, so we can set that now. Here's our top of descent, very close, so we need to hurry up. 3,500. It's going to be a continuous descent, so as soon as we start descending, I'm going to switch to local altimeter. 3,500. Alright, what else do we need to set? The altimeter 299er. Okay, let's set that. 29998. Wait, no, 299er. All right. Okay, 2 more minutes. We're gonna get our bottom of descent info as soon as we start descending. The first restriction is flight level 240. We'll review the Navigraph charts during our descent. We've been flying for 3 hours and 14 minutes. Okay. All right, we have the VNAV deviation. I'll leave this on 10 miles that way. I'll have information. Okay, it's coming down. Alright, the descent has begun in earnest. Of course, the speed is also reducing to Mach 0.8. Of course, this has changed to FMS terminal. Okay, nice sunset coming up. Alright, now that we're descending, let's take a look at our charts. Let's overlay the chart. We're coming up to our first restriction, which is I thought that this was the first one, but from what I can see, it looks like we have 24,000 or above. Can't figure out where that is. Oh, okay. I did not notice the inset. Alright, so we are coming from Tiger. Okay, that's right here. We have Hang. We have Hang to 24,000 or above, and we have Arlen. We have Arlen at between 23 and 17,000. Okay. And we have Cho at 19,000 or below. All right, now it makes more sense. All right. Okay. Transition level is flight level 180. So let's go through each of them. Not that we really need to. The GPS, the FMS will take care of that. So we don't really need to. They've already been set. The speed restrictions and the altitude restrictions. So let's look at the approach. That's the more important one. Mandatory 6,000 at Neon. Okay. Looking at this, from KV 5,300, Mob is 3,900, Gimbal is 3,500, and it's hard. Oh, it's not hard, 3,500 or above. Alright, and our minimum's 2,558, RMP 0.1. I don't know if there's a way to check this. It would usually say that. Let's come over here and let's put the other kind of PFD map settings. We're gonna use the inset map. Okay. Alright, there really is no way of knowing. In the airliners, it would state them underneath here, but we don't know. Well, I believe we're capable. And before I forget, I'm gonna switch to the local altimeter. The difference is not that much. We'll do the same thing here. Alright. This one says 2998. Hold on a minute. This one is 99Y. Or does this change by it? Oh, okay. It was 908 before. Oh, I don't remember anymore, but that's okay. It's correspondent. It's congruent. Alright, so let's set this one as 2999. Alright. Everything going as planned. Our fuel right now is 4,960 pounds. So we're gonna have our reserve. We're gonna have more than the reserve. Okay, landing weight is going to be 29,850. That's good. There must be a way to know remaining fuel, but I'm not going to play with that. Oh, here it is. Okay. So if I scroll all the way to destination, okay, we're basically gonna have around 4,480 something pounds. 4,487, that's what we're gonna have, so that's way more than the reserve. Alright, that's good. We're good as far as fuel is concerned. Okay. I'll just leave this page open so we can keep an eye on things. And we need to cross Cho at flight level 190 or below, and at 221 knots. Sorry, 250 knots. Right? Yeah, 250 knots. Okay. Alright, so far so good. And the sunset is coming. Alright, we're reducing speed to 250 knots as the sun is gorgeously setting for us. Look at the golden sun Goodness gracious, this is beautiful. Beautiful, if I may say so myself. Probably should reduce the, hold on, if we reduce the intensity of the floodlights. Okay. The speed management is outstanding. I want to resist taking screenshots, but man, this one cannot pass up this one. So I'm gonna take this one, probably the only one I'm taking. The rest of it we can take. Oh my gosh, you guys aren't even seeing what I'm seeing. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Alright, let's take that screenshot again. Actually, no. Oh. It's a good thing I took that screenshot. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have seen the... I wouldn't have known what was going on. Alright, we'll get rid of the screenshot real quick so we can concentrate. Alright, we're already at 13,000. Alright, quickly, descent checklist. Descent checklist. Altitude selector set. VNAV as required. Arrival weather data checked and input. Landing speeds input. Flight level 180. Altimeter set. Lights are gonna come on at 10,000. APU we do not need. Descent checklist complete. Okay, we'll watch out for those speed restrictions. We have a 220 knots and a 210. Okay, 220 at hoof, 210 at peep end. That's why I'm still holding the flaps. Okay, next speed restriction, next altitude is 7,000. Landing lights on. Looks like I forgot to release these people. Well, they're adults, they know what's good for them. We're gonna pretend like we did. Okay, seat belts on. Should have released that at cruising altitude, but that escaped my memory. Alright, 220 knots coming up. I don't know if I go flaps 1 if it will change. Yes, it does. We don't want that. So I'm gonna leave the flaps up. I'm gonna remain flaps up until we cross the 210 knot waypoint. There's the strip, guys. The Las Vegas Strip coming into view. One final check on the weather. I don't think it's changed. All right. Okay, flaps 1. And I'm gonna maintain 210 knots. But flaps 1. Alright, we have crossed. We've crossed P-pen. So we should be good. Flaps 2. Okay, speed is coming down nicely. Let's not forget to arm the approach. I'm actually gonna arm it now. Alright. Gear down. Approach checklist. Landing data confirmed. Ice protection is required. Exterior lights on. Flight instruments checked and set. Crew briefing complete. Approach checklist complete. Full flaps. Glide slope captured. Alright, missed approach altitude is 7,000. Gonna set that right now. Alright, 7,000, turning on to final approach. Cleared to land, taxi lights coming on. Look at that view. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's not get carried away.
Minimums.
Landing. Alright, autopilot coming off. $100. 50. 40.
50.
30. 20. 5. 4. Okie dokie. That was a nice landing. Although, I don't know. We'll see. Can we make this? Yes, I think we can. Alright, guys, welcome to Las Vegas. Alright, stop the time. Landing lights off. Strobes off. Flaps retracted. I didn't do the before landing, but that's okay. We didn't really need to do that. Now, where the heck are we gonna park? Okay, we have a long way to go. Might be a good idea to slow down. Let's slow down a little bit. I know it's a long runway, taxiway. Oh my goodness, look at how beautiful this place is at night. Just like in real life. Slow down, buddy. I know you're excited. We're going to Atlantic Aviation. I probably should have made that turn. Well, too late. We're gonna make the next one. Now we really need to slow down. Good boy. Good boy. Let's stop here for a sec and figure out where we're going. Alright, I have figured out where we're gonna park. Just give me 1 second. First of all, let's turn on the APU. Because I don't know if we're gonna have ground power where we're going. And let's increase this just a tad. Okay. All right. Now we can't go in there because of that aircraft that is over there. We're gonna clip into the wings, and I don't want to do that. I have absolutely no interest in clipping into wings. Now the next exit here is an exit coming out, but we have to use it, unfortunately, because the other one, the aircraft parked there is too close to the center line, so we're gonna use this one. You can see the markings show that it's an exit, but all right, after that aircraft, let's stop for a second. Okay, continuing. It's so dark here, but I'm gonna use the map as much as I can. All right, let's continue. We need to slow down. No need to be fast. This is where we're going. Right here. Oh boy. Okay, I think this is good enough. Hold the brakes, let's see what we did. Okay, maybe we can come a bit further.
No takeoff.
Okay. Alright, now it's a little too much, but I think we're still on the yellow marker, are we? Oh, we passed it. Oh my goodness. Alright, don't worry. That's fine. We're gonna tow it a little. We're gonna tow it back. All right. Well, welcome everyone to Las Vegas. I know I've said it several times. APU should be up and running. Let's open up the synoptics. Okay. So, turning off the left engine and right engine. I should have turned off the taxi light. Do we have ground power? Yeah, we do. Good, good, good. All right, turning on the ground power and turning off APU. Okay, looks like the moonlight is directly on top. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to stand by for the replays. Oh, before we do the replays, let's look at our landing statistics. Alright, the time we've been waiting for. Let's see how well or how badly I did in my landing. First of all, before we check that, let's let's get the screenshots. Okay. And let's look at our descent. This is where I took those screenshots. Alright, our descent was continuous. That's beautiful. I always like a continuous descent. That's efficient. As usual, remember that this is a high ground, so that's why it looks like we're still up here. This is where the ground is. I know I say this all the time, but I have people who don't understand that, so bear with me. All you know-it-alls. Okay. Of course, I'm kidding. Alright, so that's it. Let's see, how did we perform? First of all, where did we touch down? Alright, not very bad. Not exactly at the landing bars, but close. Okay, and our landing rate, 154. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, we can end the flight, or have we ended it? Probably not. End flight. Okay, let's review it. wonder why we lost a little altitude here, but that doesn't matter. But this is where we spent about 5 minutes or so doing the 3000, and then we climbed and look at our descent very nicely. All right, and 154.48. Block time was 4 hours and 10 minutes, exactly as it predicted. Goodness. And flight time was 3 hours and 39 minutes. All right. Okay, so that's that. Stand by for the replays. 5. Positive rate.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Five. Positive rate. Five.
150.
Positive rate.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Positive rate.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10, $5, 50, 40, 30, 20, 5,
500. 200. 100.
50, 40,
50.
30, 5,
100. 500. 200. 100.
50,
50.
20, 5,
100.
50, 40,
50.
30, 20, 10.
200. 100.
50, 40,
50.
30, 20.
200.
Alright guys, this is just to show you what it would look like in the daytime.
Outside
replays 50, 40,
50.
30, 20, 10, 5. Just because the night one you don't see the aircraft clearly, so this is just a bonus. It's not realistic. It wasn't the way it was when I flew it, but you already got a bunch of those. Alright guys, that's the end of the replays. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being so patient with me. Alright, let's start turning off stuff. After landing checklist, already I've done it off camera, so no need to bother you guys more. We turn off all things that need to be turned off. All right, standby power. Turn that off. Okay, and battery 2, battery 1. All right, now we're gonna go look for some hotel to lodge. And I'll see you guys on the next video. And this is the Barkis signing off. Feast your eyes one more time with the fabulous Las Vegas. And I'll see you guys on the next video. This is the Barkis signing off. See y'all.